Have you ever had a teammate that made you feel like, oh my God, when we're together, we can do anything? Or have you ever felt like, oh my gosh, I can do so much more with this person than I can without them? Well, this is the power of teams. And sometimes the stars align that the team gets a boost in a way where it's so much better to work with someone and a particular person than it is to work alone. I'm Panda Hershey, and I work with businesses to help them get the most out of their teams because there is so much potential that is often unrecognized. And when we can see it, we can tap into it. But let's take a look at what this means for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz versus Donald Trump and J.D. Vance in the presidential election, and the momentum they may have as a team. In a previous video, I showed you what the two different teams had in terms of tools to win the presidential election. And in this video, we're going to look at the effect of the various portals, the Mars portal and Jupiter portal in particular, to impact these teams and achieve what they're aiming for, which is to win the presidential election, and who seems to have the wind in their sails. Let's take a look. So, as a reminder, we have Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, their combined chart here on the left, and the Donald Trump, J.D. Vance team chart on the right. Notice that, again, they are oriented very similarly, both with Leo here at the ascendant, meaning when they're in front of a crowd, both teams like to look good and feel like they're offering their talents and having them received. I also pointed out that both of them, interestingly, have Venus and Mercury in this 12th area, meaning people, when they get in front of that crowd, they tend to be liked, and it's a place where they both teams enjoy processing, getting their ideas out, and having them received. So when we overlay the portals on top of this, we get a sense of where there is, where it's easy for them to use their tools. Let me show you what I mean. Here we'll find all of the portals, all of the impacts of the planets, the moving planets, on these two teams when they work together. And the ones that I'd like to pay attention to in particular are Jupiter here in the same place. So growth in their impact on the world, Jupiter is about that, and it's in 11 to 21 degrees of Gemini. And both teams have a tool here, which means this is an easy, a fresh start, a fresh growth for that tool. But the tools are different. For the Trump-Vance team, they have their North Node, meaning always paying attention to, their best choice is to pay attention to the details and to grow through that that will expand as they keep paying attention to the details. This might mean more and more rules, structures, laws, regulations, as they keep attuning to whatever details come into their awareness. With the Harris-Walz team, they have Mars, meaning they're putting their heart into particular ideas, and there is growth behind that. So think of it as putting rocket fuel behind what they care about. And there is an expansion there that is easy for them to tap into in terms of what they care about as a team, as they put their ideas out there with heart, with passion, with commitment, because that's what Mars is about. That is going to grow. And that is a nice thing that I would coach them on to tap into as a team, because individually, this is not where this is happening. The other thing I want to pay attention to is where Mars is here, because this portal opens in October and goes to the end of April, beginning of May of 2025. And it definitely is covering the election time period. And what do we see here? That first, with the Kamala Harris Tim Walz team, this Mars portal, which goes from, I'm going to check here, 17 degrees of Cancer to 6 degrees of Leo, covers 2 tools for them. It is like putting gas, putting commitment, putting passion, putting force behind what they enjoy and what they are enjoyed for in the 12th house. So in their rallies, in people getting onto the same page, and behind their words, behind their message that they are so proud of, that they want to offer and have received to get people on the same page. And with Mars going back and forth over this, this is a nice natural boost, a nice tailwind for them to ride this throughout the election period. With Donald and JD, however, they do not have that Mars boost behind them. It does not mean that they don't have tools, but it becomes harder to use them because they might be in a different sign. It's not a natural gas pedal to the metal as it is for Kamala and Tim. And so, for example, this Mercury in at 8 degrees of Leo is just beyond that Mars portal, which ends at 6 degrees. So they will not get that Mars boost until the portal is over in 2025. Similarly, this Mars portal starts after their sun at 16 degrees as a team, where Mars will hit it and give them a boost on that day, around that day. And then it will keep going, and they may feel that boost, which will be, and I would encourage them as a team to work that. But when it comes back, it will not touch it, and they will not get that gas like Kamala and Tim will. And so this is something where if we as a team, have momentum behind us, I always encourage teams to tap into the relationship versus trying to do it on their own, because individually we may not have that gas. And in a separate video, I'm going to break this apart to see, to show, in fact, where Donald has this Mars portal in particular touching a couple of his tools, and he may be inclined to work those tools on his own rather than to partner with JD. And so I hope this was informative and shows you the power of working with someone and what that can do at a specific moment in time or over a period of time. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.